is Jenny, and I'm a wife and mom raising 2 kids. But I used to live a more glamorous life as a TV reporter. I was on the nightly news interviewing pop stars and politicians. So when I said goodbye to TV and hello to motherhood, I suddenly discovered what we moms are up against. We live in a world that tells us to be rich and famous, thin and successful. You know, almost nobody says, "Oh, hey, you're a mom? That's fabulous." But you are fabulous, and I'm here to tell you why.
It's the Channelmom Show, celebrating you with Jenny Dean Schmidt.
Hello to every single mom who's listening today, and welcome to the Channelmom Show, where we are celebrating you because you're a mom and you're doing wonderful things. My name is Jenny Dean Schmidt. I'm a mom and I'm a host of the show. We've got exciting and informative interviews coming up for you today. It's some that I really think you've got some good takeaways from. And this is the reason. We are just here to love on the moms, because I happen to believe that moms need more love and recognition than they get from our society. Okay, I'm going to start out by being blunt today about what is going on in our world right now. So I want to warn you that you might not want your younger children to hear the very first part of the show for the next minute or two. I have been shocked and saddened by the number of news stories that I have seen in recent days about moms who are hurting their children. The mother in Castle Rock who allegedly murdered her 9-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter. This just after another mother admitted to giving her 6-year-old an overdose in Maine and dropped his body by the side of the road. And of course, there's the unfolding trial of Casey Anthony, who is accused of killing her 2-year-old daughter. And I just read about a mom who has been trying to sell her 13-year-old daughter's virginity for $10,000. What is going on? Is there something going on in this country? I understand that people have problems and that some of these problems run very deep and that they're truly sick. But why so many messed up mothers? I truly believe it has something to do with the fact that we do not honor and support mothers and families in our culture the way that we used to. Consider the fact that Casey Anthony was reportedly in a hot body contest just 4 days after her daughter died. Apparently, some moms believe the media message that hot bodies and major cash and nice houses are far more important than the sacrifice it takes to raise good kids. Meanwhile, as mothers get little honor or support, they're still expected to do it all. Case in point, I've had more than one of my mom friends admit to me recently that she completely lost it with her family. I mean, the yelling, crying, I'm at my wit's end kind of lost it. My mom friends often admit that they feel like they've got too much to do, too many people to please, and too little time. If you're a mom, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's that syndrome where you feel like you're doing everything for everyone with no appreciation, and you just can't keep it up. I have certainly had those days, and this is what they look like. I'm making breakfast, buying birthday presents, baking goodies for my kids' teachers, picking up a light bulb for my husband, planning dinner, consoling a distraught friend over the phone, calling my mother, feeding the dog, chasing the guinea pig who made a jailbreak from her cage, working on this show, vacuuming confetti off the carpet, cleaning juice out of the bathroom sink, not the kitchen sink, going to jazzercise, carpooling, grocery shopping, taking my car in for repairs, filling my tank with unaffordable gas, giving a spelling test, getting my daughter a snack, finding my son's shoes, saying our prayers, and the list goes on. And I know every mother out there can identify with that. So you come to the point where you might ask, what is this all for anyway? It's hard, it's long, and you don't often see the fruit of your labor until years later. So allow me to tell you what it's all for. Did you know that some of the world's most famous and accomplished men have said some very awe-inspiring things about their mothers? I got these amazing observations from the book called The Power of a Positive Mom by Carol Ladd, who is actually one of the guests on the show today, upcoming, so stay tuned for her. She's fabulous. First, she notes that President Abraham Lincoln had a mother who taught him to read and apparently would go to great lengths just to get him books, to the point that Abe Lincoln once said, "All that I am or hope to be, I owe to my mother." Thomas Edison said even more. He said, "I did not have my mother long, but she cast over me an influence that has lasted all my life. If it had not been for her appreciation and her faith in me at a critical time in my experience, I should never have likely become an inventor. But her firmness, her sweetness, her goodness were potent powers to keep me in the right path. My mother was the making of me." See, look at that. Look at that power you have, ladies. Finally, and maybe most surprising, the sculptor who made the Statue of Liberty actually designed the statue in the likeness of his mother. Who knew? because she represented a heroic and influential person in his life. Now, that is an awesome symbol for a mother. The woman with the light in her hand, beckoning people toward liberty. So remember the potential impact that you are having on one or two or three or more human beings by being their mother. They could be the next Abe Lincoln, Thomas Edison, Betsy Ross, or something even better. You, mom, are making a huge difference in this world. Please don't forget that. Please don't forget that. And now we have news coming up for you that you're going to be interested in.
If you're tired of the same old news,
I missed that.
News moms can use.
Okie dokie. Josh, Shelley, Lauren, you're over there. You're going to be amazed by these news stories today. We will begin our news with this little bit of controversy. And I want to tell you, by the way, we do pick these stories based on what we think moms want or need to hear. It's mom-oriented, these stories. It's not just the same old news. So we begin with controversy. Apparently, the parents of the, quote, genderless baby are still refusing to reveal their now 4-month-old baby's identity. This story comes from parentdish.com out of Canada. You can make your Canadian jokes right now, where the Toronto Star reports that following their home water birth, a 38-year-old woman named Kathy Witterick and her husband David Stalker sent a simple email to everyone in their social network explaining that they plan to keep their child's biological sex a secret. Only 6 people, apart from the baby who may know what he or she is, whose name is Storm, only 6 people know the child's biological sex. The parents, his or her 2 brothers, Jazz and Kaio, and the 2 midwives who were present at the baby's birth. The Toronto-based couple explained, "We've decided not to share Storm's sex for now. It's a tribute to freedom and choice in a place of limitation, a stand up to what the world could become in Storm's lifetime." I guess they're talking about a more progressive place in their estimation. This story has made international headlines, was featured on the Today Show, and has reportedly been spurring ethical debates throughout the parenting blogosphere. Okay, I'm ready for the comments.
I don't know what to say to that. What does Storm play with?
I don't know. It was dressed in red. The picture I saw, he or she was dressed in red. And okay, look, every parent in that regard, I mean, I guess has the right. You don't have the right to hurt your child or beat your child or something, but I guess you have the right. But my goodness, how long does this go on? At what point does the child get to reveal who it is?
I just think I can remember when the kids were little, there was some point my son would pick up a car and play with the car. I didn't give him a car or a ball.
Yeah.
I didn't give him a ball. He did not want to play with dolls.
Yeah.
He just didn't.
Yeah. And I guess there are some little boys that do want to play with dolls, but yeah, I was just curious about how they feel, what kind of an impact they think that's going to have on their child. It sounds a little bit like it's more about the parents' philosophy than how this is going to actually impact the child. Alrighty. This story takes responsibility for parenting to a whole new level about education. According to the New York Times, if you're a parent in Alaska, California, or Florida, you could be legally liable if your kids break the rules in school. My husband, who's a principal, might like this idea. Using the philosophy that parents who are readily involved in their kids' schools tend to have kids who do better in school, it's true. Schools are starting to punish the parents whose kids are tardy, truant, or failing. In Alaska, parents get fined when their kids are habitually tardy or absent, and in California, parents can face misdemeanor criminal charges for similar offenses. Meanwhile, in Florida, one representative thinks they should grade parents and post those grades on the kids' report cards. Well, in Indiana, they're considering requiring that parents volunteer in schools for at least 3 hours a semester. Shelley, I know you'd approve of that because you and I are both school volunteers and you're all about school volunteering.
I don't know that I approve the requirement, though.
I would agree. I'm not sure it should be mandated in a state legislated kind of thing. But gosh, I wish more parents did it because
in some cases, there are parents who think the school should be raising the kids.
I know. To the great chagrin of people like my husband. I mean, come on. Yeah. All right. Alrighty. Outrage on this story has been the reaction of some parents in response to a new Skechers Shape Ups ad campaign targeting girls as young as 7. Playing on channels like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, the infamous commercial is specifically targeting pre-adolescent girls to shape up with the new Skechers shoes. The commercial features a band celebrating that a slender Heidi and her friends have shape-ups for girls. Boys dressed up as junk food like hot dogs and cupcakes follow Heidi as she speeds ahead in her shape-ups, running away from the boys dressed up as junk food. So some say the message is for little girls to run away from junk food and get tight butts. So Shape Ups Fitness Group president released a statement saying the whole message behind Shape Ups is to get people moving, exercising, getting fit. That Lauren saw this news story and then I saw it later. It is a bit, my daughter's 8. And so I wonder when she watches these little commercials and some of them are, I think the more adult ones do focus on having your booty be tighter and things like that because these shoes are supposed to help that. But I just don't want her worried about her booty being tight and feeling like she's got to run away from every piece of junk food.
It probably already is tight for one thing since she's young.
Oh yeah,
got that going for
Those
her.
were days. Yeah.
So she doesn't need to buy the shoes.
Yeah. And then kind of, I just wish she would live in that security. There's a story about breastfeeding. I'm going to get to that later. It's really about the wonderful benefits of breastfeeding for the mom too, but I'll do that next week. Local news, Jeffco's outdoor lab schools have been saved. They were on the chopping block and reportedly, thanks to some grassroots fundraising, they're now being saved.
Yay, outdoor lab.
Yes, I know. Shelley, you have a connection, and so do you, Josh, to outdoor lab schools. Those are wonderful things, and they
really are. It's a good program.
It is. So far, they've been saved, so that's wonderful news, especially for some of my friends who work out there. And finally, my applause goes out to a handful of famous fashion models who agreed to have their fashion photos unretouched to celebrate the launch of Viva Model Agency in London, according to Vogue UK. I looked at the photos online. You can go to them. I think if you just Google Viva Modeling Agency, I looked at the photos and they really don't look perfect. They've got some kind of splotchy skin and moles and they don't look perfect. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you.
I'm actually in admiration. I think it comes out of London. Sometimes they're a little more real than actually almost a little too real. But I'm appreciative of the fact that they're letting moms like us know that those women really are not perfect.
Well, I liked the Renaissance photos of the women. Of course, they're half naked, but they're voluptuous.
Yeah.
And they're,
You don't have to be
I would rather aspire to that. That's a little bit easier.
Wait. Models aren't perfect?
No, they're not.
Josh,
I didn't
you can
know
leave
that.
now.
They're airbrushed.
Yeah, I know. And so we're supposed to live up to the airbrush thing.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, thank you. I feel like I want to carry sconces around with me. Like, just a second, wait till I turn on my sconce lighting.
I want an airbrush to go.
Yeah.
We're onto something.
I know. We can do that. What do I have, Josh? About a minute left? Yeah, okay. Alrighty. Let's get to this now that we've talked about that airbrush look. There are ways to achieve better looking skin, though. It is true. And my friend Heidi, who has a wonderful company I'm about to pitch, because it's good stuff, and you and I both use it. If you are a mom like me and Shelley, maybe not you, Josh, you probably wish that your skin looked a little younger and felt less dry. Now, Lemongrass Spa Products is doing some great stuff for Channel Mom. They believe in what we're doing for mothers, and so they've come alongside us, and they've created this wonderful product. And in it, you can get all kinds of wonderful things. I happen to love their yummy smelling remedies for skin. I use their body polishes, which are all natural. You can even eat them, made out of sugar and salt and things like that. Have wonderful scents. They also have something for summer called a bronzing butter with fantastic remedies for your skin. And finally, they have something called the Channel Mom Sampler Pack that you can order for $10 online at Lemongrass Spa. Coming up, we're going to talk about teenagers and how to help you raise them. Stay tuned.